Alright, what is going on, guys? So this is the first time I'm going to be weighing myself since being back from South Africa. I'm actually super curious. I hadn't have a chance, how do people friggin' film in the morning? Just not real. Anyone who does this and does it properly, is faking it. Anyway, so haven't weighed myself hold on, let's cut it. Cut. Alright, so haven't weighed myself since I've been back. I've been back since 2 days ago. But I just haven't had a chance, so I'm gonna weigh myself now. When I left, I was about 157.5 pounds. I'm gonna say I'm about the same amount of weight, or I'm way over. I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell right now. But I'm gonna guess that I'm about the same weight, 157.5. Oh damn! Okay, plot twist. I am 155.0. All right. Guys, what is going on? So I'm gonna do a little bit of a physique update, but I'm not gonna do it here because I want to keep it consistent as for the most part. Let's just fix this. Let's up this a little bit because that's messed up. So the plan is I'm gonna do one at the gym because that's where I take most of my photos, and I want to keep things consistent in terms of how to compare to previous times, videos, photos, and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do a brief overview of exactly what kind of went down in South Africa and what my predictions are for what my physique update is going to be. So the physique update is going to be on the screen right now over my beautiful face. What happened over in South Africa? Obviously my training took a back seat as well as my nutrition. It definitely wasn't as good as it was being home, and that's as to be expected. You know, I'm not complaining with that, I'm just stating pure facts. So essentially I trained probably 2 times per week. So I was there for about 2.5 weeks, and I trained probably 5 times on my knowledge. And then a couple of those workouts were actually just hotel gym workouts, and then also hotel room workouts because I didn't actually have access to a gym the entire time because I was in Africa, guys. I was in Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and those places just don't really have, you know, a high priority for a gym. It's just, you know, it's not something they're focusing on. So in saying that, I only had, I'm gonna put a shirt on actually. Yeah, so it's pretty hot, that's why I didn't have a shirt on. The idea, guys, is I trained probably 5 times in the entire 2.5 weeks. Now, to give you a little bit of a comparison, while I was here before I actually left, I was training every single day. So that was kind of a good thing. It was a good thing to give my body a little bit of a break, and frankly it did need it because now that I'm back and I'm training again, my workouts have never ever felt better, and that's tip top, guys. And it's always something that I'm gonna need to keep in mind is rest and recovery is so important, and taking that long break here and there is actually kind of good for your progression. You might take a little step back, but then that allows you more leeway to take giant leaps forward. So that is always important to keep in mind. Now, in terms of my nutrition, what I just aimed to do was just hit my protein goals for the day. Now, I obviously wasn't tracking anything, so that was a little bit hard to estimate, but frankly, I've been doing this for such a long time that it's pretty damn easy for me to understand how much protein I have had throughout the day, and then if I didn't really tick that off, I will just have a scoop and a half of protein powder from 1UP Nutrition, and that will help me tick off that goal. And that is definitely something I recommend to you guys, that when you are overseas or traveling or doing whatever, take a tub of protein because it's gonna be super duper beneficial to you. It's just gonna allow you a little bit more flexibility, and it's just going to set you up for better success in terms of muscle preservation, because if you don't have that protein intake, excuse me, you're gonna have a more likely chance to actually eat into that protein in terms of the muscle mass. Now, obviously I lost some weight, so onto the actual physique update. Guys, in terms of how I'm looking, from my predictions, guys, I'm gonna say my legs have definitely lost the most amount of muscle mass because that was just the thing I could not do. I could not find heavy enough weights to really get a good workout in because hotel gym, they're just not decked out with, you know, quantities of plates and barbells and heavy dumbbells. It's just not the case. The machines are usually absolutely shitty, and they actually don't really prioritize legs a lot of the time. They'll just do the whole exercise machine that just does everything but your legs. It'll do chest, it'll do pull downs, it'll do a fly, it'll do whatever, but nothing to do with your legs. That's a chronic epidemic, guys, going around. Chicken legs, we need to solve it, but hotel gyms are not helping that cause. Anyway, everything else is looking pretty good, so I'd say I'm probably the same amount of leanness as when I left, which is pretty damn phenomenal when you think about it. Going away on a holiday, coming back, the same amount of leanness. It's pretty damn good. It's a good scenario. Now, I've also lost a bit of muscle, as I said, and that's probably where that 2 pounds has gone, okay? Just from muscle mass being taken off my body. It's not fun. But obviously that's gonna come back pretty damn quick based on muscle memory, and that's something I'm very, very excited for, just to get back in the gym, increase the training, and start this lean bulk up. So with that, guys, everything else is looking pretty good. The abs are pretty damn lean, and that's something that typically stays around for me. I'm pretty good genetically down there. Everything else might store a bit more fat, but my abs are lucky to stay pretty lean. So the chest is pretty chiseled. The shoulders are definitely staying in there, and everything else is just going to improve as we go forward on this lean bulk. So anyway, that is going to conclude the physique update. I'm extremely excited to continue on this lean bulk and really just make a ton of progress. So I will ask, guys, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe, join the family, and we are going to continue on by improving each other, okay? Because this is gonna be a team effort, all right? So as I improve, I'm gonna show you the steps, the tips, the tricks, and everything else in between, and you're gonna make the progress as well. So make sure you subscribe. Meal number 1, going down, guys. Now, I'm gonna take you through that in a second, but this video is all about updates, so I'm gonna give you a further update. I'm still doing my whole reading. Actually, I've always done that pretty much. I read in the morning for about 15 to 20 minutes, get in about a chapter or, 20 pages, depending on how long the freaking chapter is. Sometimes I'm reading, I'm just like getting to the end of the, 15 to 20 minutes, and I've read like half a chapter, and I'm like, what the hell, how long does this chapter go for? Anyway, rambling. This book, The Laws of Human Nature. I could not recommend this book enough, by Robert Greene. I read it finally, pretty much. It's got 600 freaking pages. Took me a long time, and it's not like a kid's book where like the freaking text is super, super wide and it's like easy to read. It's quite thin, quite small text. Honestly, the best book I've probably ever read, at least top 5, and I would definitely recommend you checking it out if you have not already. This meal here going down, what I'm having, guys, is going to be sweet potato with almond butter. It's probably the best thing you could ever have. On that note, guys, do you guys like almond butter or peanut butter better? Let me know in the comments, or like the video. That's gonna help me. Let me know as well. Not really, actually. Just comment down below, please. We got the asparagus, chicken breast, and the beetroot. Now, one of the best things in the world to do is put pink salt on all of this, okay? But most especially the beetroot. I don't know if you've ever tried beetroot with pink salt or some sort of spice, some sort of, deliciousness. It makes it taste so much better. Crack, crack, crack. And also what we're gonna put on is mixed herbs. This is by far just the best thing to put on any kind of meal you have that's like savory, healthy. It's just gonna add a ton of texture and a ton of flavor, and that's what you want, guys. All good. Very cool, Kanye. Very cool. Anyway, guys, gonna go eat that now. Something that I haven't done since I've been back, and it's getting... Fuck. That's disgusting. Dislike the video for that. That's gross. Anyway, what I haven't done is, you can probably imagine, or maybe can't, I don't know. I haven't got a haircut, and that's what I'm gonna do very, very shortly. But I had a little bit of thought, guys. Like, honestly, I was the type of guy back in the day that would just never, ever get a haircut, i.e. this photo right here. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't get a haircut. There's 2 types of people, okay? There's people who go to get a haircut in order for their hair to be allowed to grow again in a socially respectable way. And then there's people who go to get a haircut to actually look good. Now, I am the latter right now in terms of going to get a haircut to make sure it looks good, clean, fresh, and very, very nice. But I used to be a freaking mole. I used to be a mole rat. I just let the hair grow out, and then when it got to a point where it was like, I'll just probably cut this. I'd cut it and then just let it grow again. It's just like, I'd get a haircut maybe once every 4 to 6 months. It's gross. How times have changed. And I think, honestly, guys, we are in a bit of an era of getting freaking regular haircuts. I think more and more guys are going to the barbershops to get these very cool haircuts. And I think it might be something to do with social media culture, because all of a sudden, guys, everyone just wants a fresh fade. Fresh freaking fade. And that just used to be probably not that common. At least, I'm not that old. So I can't really look back to the 80s, the 70s or whatever and say that with conviction. But anyway, yeah, I gotta go get a haircut. So this is the before, this is the after. Wow, and look at that, it's faded, guys. Pretty damn cool. So I also don't have a shirt on for some reason. So we're gonna have to get that on. And wow, look, I have a shirt on now. Anyway, guys, for those of you who are curious, because I do get a decent amount of questions about what kind of haircut I get, it is a skin fade. So essentially that's like a 0 to 2 or whatnot from the bottom to the top on the sides and the back, and then just a little bit off the top. I keep it fresh. My God, why am I burping so much? Anyway, guys, about to go down to the gym, do a very, very nice arm workout. But before we do that, we're going to do pre-workout ritual, which is going to be 3 steps. First, ice. Second, sport aminos. Third and finally, tricarb powder. Oh, f me. Yeah, so that whole 3-stage process didn't work out. Just put a whole roll of toilet paper on the table. Okay, that is probably the worst color that could have been dropped onto the table. Red, blood red. Take 2, ice. And guys, that is the pre-workout. So I'm just gonna walk you through it real quick. It's very, tastes good, but it's messy. What we've got here is the first thing, Sport Aminos, as I mentioned, is essentially just a It's essentially just a caffeinated supplement. So essentially it's got caffeine. It's also got a little bit of BCAAs in there because it's sport aminos, which is gonna be great for your workout. And then up next, guys, we have the carb formula, which is going to be all for the muscle glycogen, essentially. So we're gonna have this to fuel up our muscles, as well as give yourself a little bit more energy going into the workout. So if you're bulking, this is an absolute must, especially if you're struggling to get in all the calories, because this is just gonna nail down about 200 calories like that. It's gonna be great. So anyway, guys, there's a couple things that I have been missing while I was over in Africa. The first thing is training, which I'm well and truly back into, and I'm so super excited to keep that progressing. The second thing is